So what is earnest money? When you hear earnest money, it's like earnest money. So it's maybe a deposit. You may be correct. Let's talk about earnest money in Oregon real estate transactions. And I'll give you my pro tips as well as a few tips that I know of out of the state from other agents that I learned. Welcome back to Shawn Realty Podcast. My name is Shawn Yu from Portland, Oregon. Let's dive into it. So earnest money is sometimes known as a good faith deposit. The earnest money is a payment that demonstrates a buyer's commitment to the sellers that they want to buy the house. And it's a part of the real estate transactions. You got to have the skin in the game. That's what it is. In Oregon, I see often 1% of the purchase price quite often. I've seen as high as maybe 3%. But not less than 1% typically. It is to compensate the sellers and sellers agent when buyers change their mind to buy after the contingency period ends. So this is like ninth inning of the transaction. They already did the inspection, appraisal passed, the financing is ready to go, and buyers just change their mind at the end. And then that basically will cause some monetary damages to sellers too, right? Because they've been off the market, they sort of missed that marketing time, missed a bunch of offers, as well as a seller's agent. And sometimes this goes to sellers 100%, or sometimes a seller's agent may get some of it because sellers agents have been working hard. But it is basically to compensate that kind of damages, the financial damages. So I'll talk about it later a little bit more, but the higher the earnest money means more commitment that you can actually show as a buyer. It goes toward the down payment when it's successfully closed. So let's kind of mark so I know which one I talked about. So for example, on a $500,000 home, 1% will be $5,000 will be like marked as earnest money. But that $5,000 will go toward, let's say, 10% of down payment, which then the rest of the down payment becomes $45,000 plus $5,000 makes that 10% down payment. So make sure to understand that we actually have a separate field that we fill out when we make an offer, and it is protected in Oregon state contract, regulated contract template. It's very, Oregon is very lenient toward the buyers. It's very buyer-centric contract. And when I talk to other state agents, especially in the East Coast, like New York State is one of them, down payment is more than 5%. That's what I heard. I don't think, and some of the states, it's not even refundable, which you need to talk to your local. That's why real estate is a local game. When it comes to in Oregon, it is refundable within the time, within the contingency period. You haven't broke anything that's in the offer, you can get that back. And your buyer's agent's job is to educate you and how to protect that earnest money. That's what I really try to focus on that as a buyer's agent. Now, typically deposited to escrow between like 2 to 5 business days after mutual acceptance in check or a wire transfer. And this is how you negotiate in the offer. I mean, if you put in like 2 days to deposit, that's what you have to do. If it's like 5 days, so it's typically the shorter the length, more serious the offer becomes. And you basically bring a check to the escrow office, which is the safest way, or you can wire transfer, which you make sure to confirm that, never through email, text. The best way is to get the wire information from the escrow office in a printed form. I talked about this many times in different videos, but that's important so you don't get that wire sent to somewhere else. And it has to be a liquid form. So once you deposit the check, they're going to cash that. So you need to have that money in your account, which is the same as the down payment. So for example, 10% down payment, the $50,000, including the $5,000, so $45,000 after paying the earnest money has to be sitting in your account. Or it needs to be you need to be able to liquidate that within like 1 business days or something like that. If that's not the case, you need to specify that in the offer itself, saying that it's coming from retirement fund, it's coming from investment fund, and you need to disclose that to seller, so the sellers and seller's agent understand that it is not liquid. So it has to be part of the deal, otherwise it has to be liquid. So Shawn Realty Pro Tip about the earnest money. You may leverage earnest money in real estate negotiations to make a home buyer's offer stand out against competing offers. So logically speaking, if there are like 4 different offers, one offer like 5%, the rest for 1%, like sort of like, so almost like tradition, that 5% will stand out. And sometimes some buyers I've seen will release that earnest money. Yes, that's pretty, that's true commitment, that's for sure. When you say releasing the earnest money, that means you gave that money. That money comes out of escrow office and goes to seller's account directly within the agreed period. So if you know 100%, 1000% you're going to buy this house, no matter the condition, no matter the financing fails, you have cash in your account, you can buy that and everything. That's what it means. So that makes an offer very strong. So anything in between, completely refundable to non-refundable, anything in between, it's negotiable. So to make an offer stronger, sometimes we use that in multiple offer situations. And then the other thing that I've seen is that you may actually add additional amount, let's say after the inspection contingency period, we're going to add 2% more to show your commitment. And then lastly, other states, as I mentioned, the other states earnest money can be higher. I suppose there could be other states that could be lower than 1%, but I haven't heard anything lower than 1%. And some states are non-refundable, which makes home buying a lot more scary for the home buyers, if that makes sense. So yeah, so these are some of the things that you should know when it comes to buying a home in Oregon. Obviously this is based in Oregon state law and the transaction traditions, but you could have this sort of like a general concept. So you gotta have this. You can make this to make your offer stronger or weaker. And the worst case scenario, you have to think about, if let's say I actually had a situation, one of my past home buyer lost. That might be the only time that they lost, actually, because they changed their mind to buy the house like 2 days before the closing date, and I believe they lost about $3,000-$4,000, and that was their choice. I warned them but they decided to move back to East Coast 2 days before buying that house. So in that case, you're going to lose it. And then the other contingency could be, the appraisal contingency, that type of thing, which I will talk about in other videos. But if you have any questions about earnest money, especially in Oregon, leave a comment, or you can text me or email me with your question, and anything else about Oregon home buying. I'm here to help, and you can reach out to me, and we can have 20-minute free consultation that I offer to any home buyers out there. And that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe so other Oregon home buyers can see this, and I wish you a great day. Thanks so much.